This story is messed up. R.I.P. Ernest Staten. Shout out to the whole Park Hill, Staten Island, NY. Park Hill, on April 29, 1994, 22-year-old Ernest Staten was killed by police officers during an arrest outside the Park Hill apartment buildings. A 22-year-old Clifton man died last night after a struggle with police, sparking a 3-mile protest march by residents convinced he was a victim of police brutality, read an advance story published on April 30, 1994. Shortly after the story published, contradicting allegations arose. T. Gray, a 36-year-old Clifton resident who said he saw the incident, told the Advance that day, "There was a sound like a firecracker. He, Staten, was out walking. An officer went after him, handcuffed him and started pistol beating him," Gray told the Advance. Multiple witnesses said the arrest happened on Park Hill Avenue shortly before 6 p.m. that Friday when an M80 firecracker exploded nearby. An anonymous police officer who was on the scene claimed Staten walked aggressively toward the officers with his hands rolled up under his shirt, according to an Advance report in early May. The officers directly connected with the incident, including Officer Donald Brown, 31, Sergeant John Mahoney, 36, and Officer Greg Gerson, 25, were temporarily taken off their beats and placed on administrative duty. On May 10, 1994, Chief Medical Examiner Charles Hirsch said Staten died as the result of asphyxia by compression of the chest and neck while rear handcuffed and prone on the ground, making the case a homicide. Staten was not under the influence of alcohol or drugs at the time of his death, Hirsch added. Staten's mother, Masita Staten, responded, "I want justice. I want it now." A grand jury was then set to convene beginning on May 23, 1994. Ernest Staten demonstrators confronting police. Discord was present in the early days that followed Staten's death, with nearly a dozen arrested and arraigned in early May after a single protest. The 3 officers waived immunity ahead of the grand jury, indicating the officers' confidence that they acted properly. Calls for a special prosecutor to be named became fervent, with protesters descending to the NYPD headquarters to demand an impartial investigation. However, a 23-person jury, which only contained 2 to 3 black jurors, began listening to dozens of witnesses in late May of 1994. An Advance story published on May 23 read, "In the end they will return to a single point: were the police justified in using deadly force in subduing Staten, or did they wrongfully beat the life out of a man?" One witness, Tabby Ames, 20, of Clifton, told investigators that she was driving down Park Hill Avenue at about 6 p.m. on April 29 as the incident was unfolding, and saw several officers hitting Staten well after the Clifton man had been subdued, according to an Advance report at the time. In addition, she said she saw police officer John Searles standing by the scene telling the officers to stop. Officer Searles was saying, "That's enough, put him in the van," she said. Witnesses continue to testify, including Larry Webb, 33, of Brooklyn, who told the grand jury that he was walking with Staten and another witness, Luis Rodriguez, along Park Hill Avenue when a large firecracker exploded behind them. "There was a lot of police activity in the area," he said. When police approached the 3 men, Webb said Rodriguez was handcuffed and another officer questioned Staten. He said that officer was Donald Brown. Webb said a police officer had a gun pointed at the back of Staten's head and Staten exclaimed, "I didn't do anything. I have nothing on me." At that moment, Webb said Brown struck Staten on the head with his gun, and Staten went to the ground. He then said Staten was held on the ground with a knee on his chest, turned over and handcuffed. Ernest Staten. Confrontation, Vanderbilt and Tardy. In early June of 1994, a CCRB memorandum said the officers involved in Staten's death did not have the legal authority to make the arrest. At the same time, police maintained the 3 officers used necessary force to subdue the 22-year-old, who weighed 240 pounds and had a prior drug conviction. A long summer of delays ensued, with the grand jury not meeting for months. Approximately 80 witnesses, many of whom maintained they saw police beat and choke the 22-year-old Park Hill resident, were interviewed. Then, the 6-month inquiry came to an end. The grand jury cleared the police officers linked to Staten's death of any criminal wrongdoing. Staten Island District Attorney William L. Murphy, at the time, said the grand jury believed officers acted appropriately against a very dangerous man in a very dangerous situation. The next day, Brown said he would not have changed anything about the arrest. "There's nothing I would have changed," he said. "The grand jury found I did nothing wrong, and I know myself I did nothing wrong." A 3-member panel of the CCRB also later cleared the group of Staten Island officers in connection with the death of Staten. The U.S. Justice Department also cleared the officers of civil rights charges. In early 1995, the Advance reported Brown returned to policing the same neighborhood where Staten died. A group of Curtis High School students honored black victims of violence, including Staten Islander Eric Garner, in chalk at the Forest Avenue entrance of Silver Lake Park. June 1, 2020. Staten Island Advance Jason Paderon, "I Can't Breathe." The death of Floyd, which resulted in charges of third-degree homicide and manslaughter to be filed against Chauvin, reopened unhealed wounds on Staten Island. 20 years and 83 days after Staten's death, a similar scene played out when 43-year-old Eric Garner was arrested in Tompkinsville. His final words have now become a mantra of the Black Lives Matter movement: "I can't breathe." Accounts vary greatly regarding the death of Ernest Staten, but the incident prompted angry Park Hill Apartments residents to march chanting through the streets to the 120th Police Station. Let Staten Island be an example for others to follow. Let leaders from all walks of life come together so we may continue to see each other as members of one community. We have built so many relationships here in Staten Island. We need to continue to build and strengthen these relationships. Working together, we can find a way forward and create a better Staten Island for all of us. Let's take a moment if you remember this story. R.I.P. Ernest Staten. As promised, I will continue to give you guys real stories from Staten Island. Keep supporting the channel. Thanks to